It's a potato. This console is a potato. Whip it around in 360s and ran over. That'd be exciting. Okay. This is garbage. What's up, people? Dwayne from D-Pad Disquisition. So today we are going to talk about Nintendo and Call of Duty finally reuniting after all these years, holding hands, going on to greener pastures. It's just beautiful, simply beautiful. So I'm sure you guys have heard by now that Brad Smith from Microsoft has recently tweeted and announced that Nintendo and Microsoft are going to sign into a 10-year deal to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo's future platforms. Now, part of this deal was content parity and the same release dates, right? So it was going to come out at the same time as Xbox, and it was going to be on par with Xbox, which means same modes, all that. They weren't going to have to take any of the game out to make it run. Now, all this sounds fantastic. It sounds wonderful. It sounds like something that you could only dream of. Even though that this was already a thing on Wii U, if you had Wii U, which nobody did. I did, and I thought it was fantastic. I feel like a lot of people missed out, really, but there's actually at least a couple games on the Wii U that are top tier level games that were never ported to Switch to this day. But that is not the point of this video. But this deal sounds fantastic. But I personally have some caveats with this deal, and I think that this could turn out very poorly. They state that it's going to have parity with the Xbox and stuff like that. Well, if the Switch remains how it is today, there will be no parity with the Xbox. I'm sorry to say, but they're not going to get anything that is new, Call of Duty-wise, to run worth a shit on the Switch. Can they get it to run? I'm sure they could probably do it. If you scrape it down to the bare minimum graphically to where it looks like a pixelated mess and you can't even tell what you're doing anymore, which is a big, big problem when it comes to Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is a game that you have to have super good precision. You have to be able to see what you're doing, have super fast reflexes, 25 frames a second, 30 frames a second. It's not going to cut it speed-wise in that game. Like, you're not going to stand a chance, especially if that game has crossplay and you're playing against other players that are on PC or Xbox. You are going to get stomped in that game, and I mean just completely ran over. You're not even going to stand the slimmest of slim chances, because someone playing on a PC, man, they whip it around in 360s in 2 seconds and just cap your ass right now. Right now, you have no reaction time, especially if you're playing at something that's 30 frames a second, and it's probably going to occasionally dip. I don't see how you're going to get the newest Call of Duty to run on the Switch as it stands today, because it is in rough shape. It is outdated, and it is weak. Just weak compared to almost everything out there right now. Even my cell phone is comparable to the Switch, and that's the truth. And I've also been hearing rumors about a Switch 2 being leaked and stuff. I've seen videos on it, like Spawnwave did a video and stuff like that. I didn't watch it, but I did see that he did a video on it where it said something about Switch 2 leaks and stuff. After the whole Switch Pro incident, I'm not even going to start looking into that. I just feel like it's pointless to even look into that shit at this point. If it comes, it comes. I personally don't think it's going to happen. They're about to release Tears of the Kingdom. Unless they're going to do a cross-platform release like they did from Wii U to Switch, where it's on both platforms at the same time, and it's just like a farewell song. I guess I could see that. I highly doubt it. But in my honest opinion, if there's not going to be an upgrade to it, I don't see how they're going to port any Call of Duty to Switch. Unless they're talking about porting the DS ports. Wouldn't that be hilarious if they ported all the DS Call of Duties to Switch, or even the Wii ones, since you can use your Joy-Con for motion controls? They put a Black Ops for Wii on there. That'd be something, right? That'd be exciting. But no, in all honesty, I mean, what are they gonna do? I think the most they could do with a Call of Duty is port it on there, and when they port it on there, it's going to look like Call of Duty Mobile. That's how rough it's going to look. If you port the newest Call of Duty Switch, it's going to look like Call of Duty for your cell phone. But whatever they do, they absolutely need to get Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms, without a doubt. Because Call of Duty has some very strong staying power with people. It brings people in, and it gets people to stay. Once you start a Call of Duty and you start leveling up, it's hard to stop. Like, the grind is real, you know? It feels good to shoot people. It feels good to get kills in Call of Duty. It feels good to run around. The controls are like the most solid controls for an FPS. There are games that get really close to it nowadays, but Call of Duty has always been top tier controls-wise when it comes to first-person shooters. It's the most fast-paced and action-based first-person shooter with the best controls. But it's just fantastic game series that brings people to your console. The Wii U had 2 Call of Duties. It had Call of Duty Ghost and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. To this day, I can get on my Wii U and go to Black Ops 2, throw the disc in, turn it on, and get an online match on Black Ops 2 for Wii U. I can get an online match for Black Ops 2 on Wii U to this day. That shows you how much staying power there is in Call of Duty itself. It's getting people to literally turn their Wii U's on still and put Call of Duty in and try to find an online match. That is just amazing to me because the Wii U is dead at this point. You don't hear anybody talk about the Wii U. You hear occasionally, you'll see a video or two, but for the most part, you don't hear shit about the Wii U. So the fact that people are still trying to play Call of Duty online on the Wii U is amazing. And it shows you how much Call of Duty would help the Switch and Nintendo in the future. But with the way the Switch is now, I mean, you're talking DS ports and Wii ports, because that's about all it can handle. Unless you port the most new version of Call of Duty and you play it at a resolution that you need bifocals to see, you'd be like, okay, this is garbage. It's just amazing to me that this console is still going like it is, with no upgrades, no pro versions, nothing. We got that bullshit pro version leak for all that time and it never fucking happened. And now here we are. They're signing a deal with Microsoft for a 10-year Call of Duty deal, talking about future whatever, and they're about to release Tears of the Kingdom, one of the biggest games they're going to release. Without a doubt, it's going to sell big numbers, right? The first one sold big numbers. This one's going to sell even bigger numbers, if I was going to guess. And they can't even upgrade anything. They have no pro version. They have nothing. It's a potato. This console is a potato. But all in all, I'm honestly just glad that they actually signed a deal with Nintendo. I actually am excited to see what comes to the platform. Would I be surprised if it was Call of Duty Mobile that they got? Not at all. Why? Because the Switch is a potato. It's a freaking lump of rocks at this point. It needs to go. It needs an upgrade. It needs something. All you have to do is put The Witcher 3 into your Switch and look how rough it looks compared to even a regular Xbox One. It's sad. It breaks my heart to see that game like that. And I don't want to see or let alone play any Call of Duties like that. Not the old ones, not the new ones. The original Black Ops, I love it. It's my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Maybe they could port that to the Switch, you know, do some older ones. But the online's dead on those at this point, you know. Maybe they could start porting, you know, some of the older Call of Duties to it, you know, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. just backwards compatible stuff like 360 ports. And the online might be dead on those today on like 360 and Xbox One because you struggle to find matches sometimes. Sometimes they are dead. But maybe if you put those on Switch, it would cause a resurgence and have some more people playing, and you'd be able to get some groups of people in there and rebuild it and get the online going a little bit. You never know. Do I see that happening? Probably not. But as long as they're not porting fucking DS Call of Duties to the Switch, I'm not too worried about it. I'd say it'll look a lot better in the future when they get something a little bit stronger than the Switch, or a lot of bit stronger than the Switch, because it needs to be a lot stronger. It's just weak. So as always, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you on the other side. Peace out.